What we are about to come out of is something so similar to what happened back in October of 2023, where we had an explosion in the growth of the market so suddenly that it caught everyone by surprise. And there was, in most cases, 5 and 6x multiples made in about a few months. So I see us being on the precipice of that right now. This is the most important advice that is not financial advice, but it's personal advice that you would probably hear all day, all week, and maybe even all month. Because today, what I'm going to focus on isn't anything regarding the charts, isn't anything that leaves it up to chance. We aren't saying, oh, well, if this happens, then that might happen, so do this plan. What I want to focus on today is things that you can do right now that will make a direct impact into the overall profitability of your crypto portfolio for this cycle. And given a massively amazing opportunity right now with the markets dipping down, this is more important than ever before. So I want you to pay very close attention, because this is a video you will most definitely thank me for in the next few months. So while altcoins and Bitcoins right now look horrible if you're someone who has all of your money in the market, because you're someone who only wants to see green. However, someone like myself, I want to see red because I have more money to put into the market in the case we have crashes like we're seeing right now, to allow me to make more money on the top side. So what comes next for crypto, whether that's an immediate sort of crash or correction right now, or whether that's 1 or 2 months of sideways movement, which we have seen historically speaking when it comes to the Bitcoin halving, it doesn't matter, because what will come after that is going to be positive price action. We're going to see a massive leg up, and I'm going to visualize that for you momentarily here. And again, after I do that, I want to take you through an exact plan to allow you to capitalize and just remind you of some of these core principles that you might not already be doing for your own altcoins. It's very important to pay attention. Right now, Bitcoin has fallen it down to $57,200. So basically, it's hitting levels a lot of these TA guys have expected it to fall down to, and a lot of them are expecting us to move more or less sideways, so to speak, in the next give or take month. Now, I want to take your attention first of all to this chart. And I said I didn't want to take you through a million different charts in today's video. I'm not showing you anything technical here. All I'm doing is giving you the perspective before I move into some of those plans and preparations, okay? So back in October, we broke all of this, sort of sideways trading action that was pretty much the bear market, and we instantly, out of the blue, broke, and we pretty much pumped up almost 3x. We went up 163%, which was crazy because we did that in about 5 months or 150 days, which is incredible when you think about it, okay? Because if you actually have a look at altcoins individually, like ICP, in this time period, it went up almost a 6x, okay? Just under. Render, even more impressively, actually almost did an 8x, basically did an 8x, okay? In that same time period. So you've got to ask yourself, while the overall market might move up a 2 or a 3x, and I believe that is what is about to happen after this consolidation period, guys, altcoins are going to pump even higher and much, much further, I think, because we'll have more money in the space that has been accruing over these last 5 months. Before that, we pretty much had the bear market community. We picked up some new money in this time, and I think now after we've kind of dropped down and moved sideways, we'll lose some people, but interest is still here. And once that kicks off, I think we'll have another large move like we have had recently. So if we kind of do that 160% move again onto the top side, that'll put us to about a 5.6 trillion market cap, which I'm not going to throw numbers around here. That's not the point of this individual video, but that would make a lot of sense to me, because if we again zoom out to the last cycle, overall, in that first whole entire big leg up, it went from a 300 billion market cap up to about a 3 trillion. So yeah, it did quite a few multiples there. So again, this move right here definitely would not be out of the blue for me. So again, we can kind of expect, if it doesn't even move up that much, a massive move for some of these altcoins, especially the ones like the two I've mentioned to you so far that have gained that extra interest. The best way I can describe where we are right now is very similar to a surfer about to ride a wave. If you can think of you waiting for a couple of years in a bear market, for example, okay? You waiting for a couple of years on the ocean, maybe a couple hours to make it simple. You're sitting there waiting and waiting, small waves keep coming. There's some medium-sized waves, but you're looking for that big wave. You're looking for that big bucks. Then all of a sudden in October, well, at that time, maybe 2 hours after you've been in the ocean, okay, a massive wave comes crashing over. Now, where we are right now is, again, the exact same, I believe, to where we were back in October. We basically, at that point in time, were just sitting on the cusp of that massive wave. Now, again, I put words like urgent or do this now into the titles of my videos, but it isn't just to get you to click on the video, right? Some of you think it's clickbait. Admittedly, you have to do that sometimes in media. Otherwise, you don't get views. Therefore, you don't make a living. But ultimately, what I'm really trying to do here is tell you all and get into your brains. Now is an extremely important time to understand these things, all right? That's why I do it. We're on that sort of very cusp in the bottom part of that curve. We've seen the wave is here, and you get tricked to selling your bags or not filling your positions entirely because you feel like we might go lower or you feel like that wave might get pulled out from underneath us. But in reality, it's not. We are going to have a bull run. There are, again, a few nuanced circumstances that might do that, which of course is World War III or some of these other events that might cause some conflict around the world. But the likelihood that that happens, I believe, is far lower than the market actually doing what it needs to do over the next 12 to 18 months. Like I said, there's two things I want to remind you that is, I believe, extremely important, again, especially now to do, which number one and first and foremost is to ensure that you will make the multiples from your coins. And this is going to overlap into the second part here, which is then rebalancing your portfolio. Now, again, I stress this is important to do right now because we have the unique opportunity to do this. You can't really effectively rebalance a portfolio when we are already, gone. Like, for example, in those recent times, I'm referring back to, October. You could have rebalanced in October effectively, sold a position that was basically even, maybe even 5% down overall. So you were like 5% underwater on your position, but you couldn't really rebalance in November, December once we had those and we were in the midst of those massive gains. Because all the coins you wanted to get into would be inflated, and the coin that you had got into, you might have made some money on that, and maybe you wanted to take it out to buy the new coin, but it wouldn't have been prime for you to do that. You wouldn't be doing that at a prime time. You want to kind of do that when you get excellent entry levels. So with that being said, here's a quick and easy way I've taught many times before on how you can ensure, first and foremost, that the coins you're actually invested in are capable of achieving your goals. And this is a key part of any portfolio. We'll touch on it in a second here with rebalancing. You cannot look at a portfolio without clear goals in mind. I'll talk more about that momentarily here. So what you want to do, and if you haven't done this, go ahead to all of your altcoins and apply it. Please, this is the most important time to do this. What you want to do is basically, for each of your altcoins, figure out how many multiples you actually need to get out of the coin itself. Now, for me, I'm looking, generally speaking, for about a 15x. Some less, some more, but again, average 15x. So applying this to Hedera HBAR's price here, first two things we're going to do is number one, plot the actual price prediction for HBAR. I've set it at $3. You could probably set it at $2. I think $3 is a bit more ambitious, but we're never going to sell anywhere near that level, okay? Ideally, definitely not over it. That's the ceiling. That's our cement ceiling for the project, okay? Now, we're going to move down 25%, as you can see I've done here by this red arrow, and then mark a new red line. This red line then becomes the max ladder sell price we can achieve, which means that's the last price you can actually afford to dollar cost average out of, okay? That's the very, very highest price. Any more than that, and you're taking on substantially highly compounded risk. You don't want to do that. So what we're going to do here is once you've plotted those two levels, again, plot that top level, move down 25%, plot the new level, the new 25% down level, which is again our max ladder sell level, is at $2.25. Then from the current price, move up to hit that level, okay? So we can see here, we're at 2,331%, aka that is about a 24.5x, okay? So 24.5x from the current price is the max ladder sell price. But here's the thing people get stuck on. People believe that because you can possibly make those gains on paper, that is bound to happen. No, it's not. This is theory. No one knows exactly how high HBAR's price will actually go to. So what you want to do and tell yourself is, okay, what's my multiples? If you're looking like me for a 15x, don't shoot for the stars. Don't go that high. What you want to do if you are underneath it, if it's way up here, first of all, you got to bring it down, that's for sure, okay? But we're looking for a 15x. What we're actually looking for here is 1,400% like this, which is a 15x. That's $1.39, which actually is pretty low, pretty beneath the red line you can see here. So what I would go ahead and say is that is fine to accomplish. The lower you set your expectations, the better. Now, for a project like Sunesis One, a micro caps, 24 million market cap, looking for a price of $1, again, that coin could shoot up much further than that, but you do not want to go too high. You don't want to be, kind of flapping your wax wings as close to the sun, because you are going to get burnt in this industry. Now, the next thing you want to do once you've kind of organized that is see if you can move down your average entry level any lower. Right now, we're of course calibrating this to the current price, but given the current situation, you can probably pick up some of these coins like HBAR for a bit cheaper than what it's currently displaying at. So I think realistically, again, this is where you'll throw some levels of support and resistance on the screen. You can probably look for a price of about 8 cents, okay? Again, each coin is different. You might be someone who wants to play it safe and just go from the current price, and that's fine. But what we can do here is say, right, we can begin buying HBAR at 8 cents, or again, just dollar cost average to an average of 8 cents, which means we can start buying now, but not put our final positions in. And then you can see here that our percentage has moved up to 1,600%. So then what we can do is move this down, back down to 1,400%, which now means we can dollar cost average sell at $1.20. Again, all we're trying to do by bringing the average buy-in down is just allow ourselves to pretty much be as safe as possible. The further down we bring this, of course, we're still trying to achieve just a 15x. We're not trying to fly too close to the sun. That means that we can bring down the top average sell level. Now, I'm going to make this video particularly making the point of, or at least rather, I made this video to make the particular point of, I would highly suggest to move as far away from this level as possible. Okay, now why is this important to say in this particular video? Because the surge we're about to have is bound to happen. Okay, it's going to happen no matter what. We're going to achieve some pretty high gains. I think we're probably expecting around an 8 trillion global market cap. So we're going to move up even more than, what we've made so far in terms of percentages from this point. So I just want to stress to you all, look, while your altcoins might make those returns, it doesn't mean you should try to aim for those. And being as safe as possible is the key in this industry, okay? This industry is designed to make you poor. There's no way someone can make life-changing generational wealth if that generational wealth comes from nothing. A lot of money has to come from a lot of money. Does that make sense? So please be very careful. This is the time to reduce your risk and recalibrate like I'll show you now. But what I want to show you first here is just this all mapped out, okay? So we can see here, buying from the current price, getting to that max ladder sell level might be a 24x, okay? But if we look for, let's just say, an 11x or so, we sell $1.10, we're actually missing out here on 102% from that point, which means we're actually missing out on doubling our position. So rather than making an 11x, again, we could have made like a 24x, which is huge money, okay? Huge money. But what you can afford to do to yourself in this case, if you do want to kind of make up for a potential high gains here, is just leave 5 to 10% on the table in this sort of gray area, in the danger zone, if you will. Again, the danger zone really is as high you go. Anything, above, particularly at this point in time, you begin compounding, I guess, the risk. But anything in between here, it is a lot more risk. So you definitely want to reduce that. So what you're looking at right here is my exit plan sheet. This isn't my exit plan calculator. That is coming here very soon. But this basically is the calculator, okay? What we're doing here is factoring in an individual's goals, working out the tax factored goal, okay, because we need to figure out, tax in this case. Most people don't think about that. People have a goal of $300,000 to buy a new house. They make $300,000 and then they have to pay the tax man 25-40%, which screws them over, okay? So we factor that in. And what we're looking at here is basically my current portfolio all figured out. Now, you'll find here, I'm actually looking to make some pretty high multiples for each of these projects. But like I said, we want to reduce risk as much as possible. So this sheet's available, by the way, for all of you down below in my private community for tier 1 and above. So if you want this, you can have access to it over there. However, I do want to say if you are someone that doesn't have this, you can just take what I'm telling you here. And it's very easy to do and apply it to your own situation. You can see some of these multiples on the screen are quite high. Like, for example, Hedera is an 18x, even at $1.20. All right, Celestia I actually bought quite late here at $11 average buy-in, and so too with Render, $8.60 average buy-in. So I don't think I want to add the risk on with Render, for example, being $130 average sell. That's quite high. So you can see here I've left SingularityNet and Fetch out. And the reason being is because they're merging. But let's pretend that you haven't actually finished adding all your coins to this list. So let's finish adding. So I think SingularityNet could hit $15 if they weren't merging. and fetch could definitely hit 40. So we can see here about a 14 and a 16x. Let's maybe make this 35. That's much better, okay? So what we're looking at here is the overall revenue I would make by selling each of these at the multiples I'm looking, or the average sell I'm looking to get here, at the average buy-in price, all right, and the amount I have, which is about 4.5 or 4.6 million US dollars. Now you can see here, all I have to achieve for my goal, right, for these goals over here, is 3.5 million US dollars. So I'm well and truly over by over a million USD, which is crazy. But then we're going to factor in setting an initial sell level. This is very important because if you have an initial sell level set, this takes all the risk off the table, which is what we're trying to do here. So if you set the sell level here, for example, you're taking all of your cost basis, how much money you put in the H-bar, off the table, and the rest is pure profit. So we're going to say for these two coins, let's go 50% of when we're selling. So $7.50 for this, and let's just roughly say $17.50 over here. So that's a bit more than 10% of our position. And then you'll see the new factored total is $4.1 million. Now we have to recalibrate our portfolio when we're talking about initial investment levels, because we're taking off our initial cost basis, which means we are going to be removing some tokens. You can see we're selling these amount of tokens of these coins at these prices, and we're left with this much tokens for each project. So we're having less tokens. Therefore, when we sell the next levels, we're going to be making a bit less money. But we can see here, I'm only losing about, what's that? Let's just say $400,000, right? Because of taking off my initial investment, which again, I'm not actually losing. I'm just clawing back my initial investment. I have less tokens to sell on the top side. But this is all profit, okay? It's all profit. But again, we're just trying to achieve our tax-factored goal. We just want to achieve our goal of owning 8 properties, cash, and reinvest into crypto. That's all we're trying to do in this industry. So then what I can do is begin reducing the sell levels to be safer. So for example, with Mina, let's make that $10, for example. Hedera, let's leave it at $1.10. I think $1.10 for H-bar is quite fine. For Render, let's make this $80. How are we going over here? So 3.8 million, our goal is 3.5 million. Plenty, no problem. Let's move Celestia down to, what does $110 look like? A 9.9x. Okay, 3.6, we're still easy going. What about ICP? Let's move ICP down to 130. Let's see what that does. Okay, we're still just over. This is fantastic. Let's move Wormhole down to $10 to be even safer. 3.6 still. Well, let's really melt Wormhole down to $8, so it's a 10x as well. That barely even moved the price as well because I don't have too much money in Wormhole. And let's go ahead and say Manta. Let's move Manta down to $30, so a 12x. And there we go, 3.51, 3.57. So we're just off, but I can move some more numbers around. So what I've done here is significantly reduce the multiples on each project to still achieve my goal, because of course, in this case, I've added more projects in, I've added my full portfolio. But of course, in your situation, maybe add in all your numbers, okay? Maybe add in all your important, average buys, the amount of tokens you have, and your average sell price. And maybe your average sell price in your brain overall far exceeds what you actually need to achieve your goals. Therefore, you can actually reduce down the average sell on levels like I've done here, which means you're much safer off. So guys, I really implore you, this sheet is going to save you so much damn time in this industry. Now, if you did want to trade any of the assets I've so far mentioned in this video, or any coin whatsoever, I would say, guys, join my CoinW Telegram group down below. You have access to a whole bunch of features. You have to sign up via this link. I will leave it down below. It is a Telegram link. You'll have to join up via Telegram. You get verified via Telegram. In there is a link to this page right here. Sign up, use your user identification number that will be presented to you once you sign up on that button on the very top over here. Paste it into the channel, and then you have access to a whole entire free group with a whole bunch of awesome features. We have a page dedicated to futures signals. We have pro trader chats. We have market updates. We have spot signals. We have daily win group that you guys can share your daily wins in here. We have live trading sessions from CoinW professional in-house traders specifically here to help you guys. So if you are a trader, if you are someone who wants to be that one step above the game, you can join this. Again, it is completely free using the link down below. If you don't have Telegram, I suggest signing up. This is worth it. Again, completely free. So thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Take good care. Buy the damn dip. Bye.